get to the fun stuff. We're going to turn on Criya AI so you can maximize the value of everything you've learned so far and do all of it 10 or 100x faster. Here's how Criya AI works. There's two or three simple things you need to remember so that the output that you get from Criya AI is optimal. So the first thing we're going to do is make sure that your page structure is set up appropriately and the sections have been set up in the order that you want it to generate content on. Second, we have a training zone or like a drop zone where you can just drag and drop any relevant documents, blog posts, things that it can use as reference material for building out your content. Third, you will always have the option to go refine each and every section by just adding a couple of sentences so there's additional context to just generate that particular section. And that's it. Click AI Generate and watch the magic. So like I said, brass tacks, a few simple things. Remember we talked about page settings. This is super important. When you create a new page, make sure that the page name is what you want it to be. So if you're writing a document on sales enablement, make sure your title says Criya Sales Enablement. This is something that our AI uses as one of the parameters to determine what it's generating. Next, when you create your page, ensure you set up a structure. So remember when we talked about all the sections that you have, there's a variety of sections you can create, but it's really important that you set up a structure for this page. So what that means is, let's say you created, a background image. Next, you wanted to generate an executive summary. Now this is all empty, but this is a text section that says executive summary. Then you wanted to talk about just overview of AI, of Criya AI. Then you want to talk about problem statements or like challenges faced by leaders. Then you want to talk about features and benefits of Criya AI, and then like your team and stuff like that. So my point being that the only effort that you should put in, just so you make sure that it is generating what you want it to generate, is set up the titles. So executive summary, overview, I want this to be bullet points. I just set up a title. The rest of it doesn't even matter. It's all empty and features and benefits. Let's test out and see how this works. Why did we do this? Because this is the most important step. You need to pay attention to the section title and the context that you are going to provide because these are key parameters that your AI will use for generating each section. There's a section prompt where you can modify the section title. For example, you want to say problem statement for sales professionals. And then you can throw in a few keywords saying there's a highly competitive market, buyers are always choosing the incumbents and so on. So there's a little bit more context for generating this particular section. These are all optional, but it's really great that you do this. But the section title, like I said, is the most important. Next, you're going to go ahead and upload your sources. So why do you do this? Think of this as raw notes, blogs, and things like that you don't want to keep rewriting into your prompt to generate relevant content. So what I do is I usually have these two sort of just raw document like notes of mine available. One is just, like the high level platform features about Criya. It's not formatted or anything. It's just this much. And then another one, which is just like customer pain points. So I just have this handy. These are usually my talking points anyway. So that's pretty much all that I keep accessible. Just go ahead and click download and say this is a PDF. See how we can train our AI model with your product and services and any additional context to help it frame your output. So we just downloaded this file. So I'm going to go ahead and drop this in here and say upload and train. It's going to take a few seconds and there you go. So when it's ready, it'll basically tell you that it's ready. And then you can generate your entire page once you have the structure set up this way. So it's going to go ahead and read that document and generate the entire content. But first, I want to show you how each individual section is generated so you understand how the whole page is generated. Because ultimately, the page is a collection of individual sections. So typically, I would, let's say, want to edit and add the executive summary. What AI is doing on the back end is it's taking your input from those files, if you have them and have uploaded them. Even if you have not uploaded any content, go ahead and add a few keywords here. So I went ahead and, I went ahead and entered this prompt and let's click generate. It did this for me. Now you can obviously go in and edit, but just with a few sentences, it was able to pretty much put together, you can streamline your sales process, enhance your brand image, impress your potential clients. Pretty slick. Let's go to the next one. This says overview of Criya AI. I want to give it a little bit more input. So this time I'm going to go ahead and copy paste this whole thing. So here, where'd it go? I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to make a copy of this just so I don't lose it, and click and just paste this entire, content. Okay, I was able to clean up that, remove all the HTML. So I'm gonna go ahead and click copy, and there you go. Okay, let's hit generate. And now it gave me more specific stuff, such as experience the power of the page builder, swap images with video demos, our AI author and auto designer, QR code. So it got more specific about what we do at Criya. Let's try one more time with a different section. This should be interesting. So I want to generate the problem statement of using Criya. Just mean the problem statement here is challenges that sales leaders face. So I'm going to go ahead and copy paste this information in here. And let's see what happens. It took a couple of seconds, but here you go. Navigating high competition markets, grappling with poor brand recognition. So these are pretty much the problem statements I always talk about, which is kind of cool. Limited budget. And it nicely formatted it like the sentence is not run over. They're, just about the size of what bullet points should be. And it basically translated this lengthy piece of whatever into this. Let's try benefits. And here I'm going to throw in like the kitchen sink. I'm going to throw in all this and all of this. Copy paste on like this entire, I copied all of the customer pain points, and I'm going to copy all of this. Let's see what happens. And here's what it came up with. Revolutionizing the sales platform. It gave me a quick summary of what the specific features are, and it also gave me a nice little blurb to share out. So guys, here is the power of it. It turned this into this. It turned just an overview into this, and so on. I'm gonna go ahead and delete these. Clean it up. Remove this. Oops. Clean it up. There you go. And I have the ability to go in and, bold some of these things. So let's say I want to talk about AI page builder. I can go make things prettier if I want to. But it does, when it's text stuff, it does a pretty great job. So exact summary, overview of the product, challenges, benefits. So here you go. So point being that the richer, the input is, obviously, the richer the output is going to be. The fewer sentences or the less relevant sentences you put in, the harder it's going to be. You can obviously go ahead and create something brand new. So let's say let's say I add something like this. I was trying to write all the takeaways that I have from today's session, which was very interesting. So I was trying to write the onboarding flow and kind of put that into, how does Criya, how do I summarize all of it? So I want to write, key takeaways from today's session. Just going to delete this, leave this alone, and then pop in. Sign up flow, onboarding, blah, blah, blah. So these are the things that I know I covered in the first video. profile and stuff. So it's just like, I'm not even like correcting the spacing or anything like that, just a dump of keywords. Let's see what it does. There you go. Mastering your new workspace. Streamline your sign up flow, master the onboarding process, learn to set up URL. And all of that literally just came from this much of text, just some bullet points. So know that the power is just in ensuring that the input is accurate and the bullet points are valuable, and it'll take the shape of whatever you want it to take the shape of. It can take the shape of a grid, two-part, testimonials, lists and carousels. Like, you just need to know what to provide it, and it can do all of that work for you. So remember, if you want to refine any section, just go ahead and edit the prompt or just edit the section title and enter some relevant sentences and watch the magic happen. Like I said, you can keep adding more sections and keep playing around with this. It's pretty much how it all works.